Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos, but I also do others like the one you're about to see here. First, thank you so much for tuning in and spending some time with me by watching this video. I get questioned pretty often about where I get my cash envelopes or if I make them. For the most part, I use these laminated cash envelopes. And I also have a full set for my sinking funds that look like this. Now, this is a little bit extra that I did just for myself. I've never sold any that look like this. The words are cut out from my Cricut. These I haven't used. This is kind of like my backup set. But for the most part, I do use laminated envelopes, and I did do a process video on that last year, so I will link that down below just in case you're interested in that type of envelope. Now, not everyone has access or owns a laminator. They are fairly inexpensive, and I think I have one linked down below. Check out my links for some of my most used and most loved products, because usually I put links to things that I use pretty often in my videos. If you don't have a laminator, then this type of envelope may be for you. Now, I think these are adorable. I think they're super charming, and I actually prefer them to the laminated version. So these are just paper, just scrapbook paper, and they are so easy to make. It just involves a little bit of cutting, a little bit of measuring, but you don't really need a paper cutter. You can just use a pair of scissors. You don't need a laminator, and you don't even need any special adhesive. So I'm using, in this video, I'm going to at least try to use this Tombow Extreme. Now, this is just the permanent adhesive roller that you kind of run across wherever you want to glue down or fasten down. But if you don't have that, you can just use Scotch tape, or if you don't want to use Scotch tape on the outside, you can get the double-sided tape. And if you're not interested in spending a lot of money on that, I know that the Dollar Tree also carries double-sided tape very often. Aside from the adhesive, you just need a pair of scissors. So I'm using these old kind of junky ones. You need a pen, doesn't matter what kind, just something to draw some lines with. And then you need a ruler, because you do need to be precise. So you make sure that your cuts and your folds are going to be the proper measurement so they reach. And here I just have some money that I'm going to be doing my cash envelopes with, and you can see that it fits very comfortably. Mine are a little bit wider than some, and they're actually, I believe, the same width. No, they are a little bit wider than this one too. And I think that's because I cut the top off of these after I laminate them. The width of these, I think, is 3.5 inches. So let me double check. And I will give you all the measurements so you have it. Yeah, it's 3.5 inches, just a hair under that. And that could be because of the way I folded it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 folds to this, and very, very little cutting. Now, I'm not super precise about the way I kind of cut inward for the folds or anything like that, just because that doesn't really bother me. And I don't have an adhesive to keep this one down, the top flap, but I do glue down the bottom one. I think these are really, really cute. You can put stickers on here, or if you're a doodler, you can draw on these and put what they're for, and you can change them out whenever you want. They're just so easy and quick to make. So the first thing that I wanted to show you, I'm going to make a craft envelope with you with this craft paper. But the first thing that I wanted to show you was this little schematic / diagram that I created on the measurements that I use. Now, I'm not the inventor of these by any means. Of course, the cash envelope system is credited to Dave Ramsey. So if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, he is a financial guru and just an all-around money genius. As far as the creation of this little paper envelope, you can find these on YouTube all over the place. People do different dimensions for them. These are also kind of used for gift cards. So you can just alter the dimensions and create a really nice, really solid kind of paper craft envelope for a gift card if you wanted to make your own presentation envelope, which I think is adorable. And like I said, I think these are super, super charming. I just love them. They just look really homemade to me, and I think they're adorable. So the first thing that you may notice is that there are some hash mark lines, and then there are some solid lines. Now, the hash mark lines mark where you are actually going to cut the paper entirely. So you're going to measure this paper 7.5 inches across. So that is the total width that you're going to need for the entire envelope. So basically, if you have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper like the one I have here, you're just going to trim off an inch from the edge. Really easy, really simple. And then you are going to measure 9 1/4 down, and you're going to trim that bottom off. So again, very easy. The other thing that you're going to do, and I should have some hash marks here because you're actually going to cut here and here. This is your top flap, and this is the other side of your top flap. And then same thing for the bottom, here and here, here and here. Now, the difference in the top and the bottom flap is the bottom one's a little bit smaller. Now you can make it as big as you want. You can have it go all the way up the envelope. It really doesn't matter. And you don't have to be too precise with how big you make these. You just want to make sure that you make them big enough for whatever you're using them for. So if you're using for a gift card, you know, make it that size. If you're making them for cash, make them at least big enough to fit your cash in, and allow for a little bit extra in your measurements, because if you have quite a bit of cash in there, that's going to kind of stuff the envelope, and you want to have enough give to it. So I'm going to go ahead and make one of these with you. Now, if you're not interested in this part of it, you know, feel free to fast forward, but I think it's really helpful just to go through the entire process so everyone has an idea, start to finish, of how this is done. And like I said, it really could not be easier. So I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to measure down 9 1/4, yep, 9 1/4 inches. So I'm gonna make a mark here, right there, and I'm gonna zoom in just a bit. And then over here, I'm going to make the same mark. And that way I have 2 dots that I can follow and make a straight line end to end. And I'm gonna cut this off. And then what I want to do is I want to measure in 7 1/2 inches. So I wanna go back here because I need to do the same thing. I need to make a dot, and I need to make another dot at 7 1/2. So I want to go ahead and make that line there. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off the excess, because at this point you don't need it any longer, and if you keep it on, it might get a little bit confusing. And you can use a paper cutter for this, but if you don't want to get that out and you're not as concerned with being micro precise, just use a pair of scissors. It works just as well. All right, so here's the piece of paper you're going to be using. First, what we're going to do is we're going to measure down so we can have our flap for the top, and down is going to be 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to make a dot here, and I'm going to make another dot at the bottom. And then I'm just going to join those two and make a straight line. Now, like I said, part of that's going to be cut and part of that is just going to be folded. Now, some people, I'm sure, people who do things much better than I do, use a scoring tool. And I do have one of those. I just don't think it's necessary, especially if you're using weighty cardstock like I am. It kind of has its own, it doesn't have its own shape, but it kind of holds its own. I did 1 inch from the bottom. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 2 1/2 inches in, because that is the size that I have chosen for the left flap. And again, some people make it a little bit smaller. Some people might make it a little bit bigger, but 2 1/2 is pretty good for what I've been doing. So I've made some of these for my friends, and they seem to like them, because for a while I was so sick of laminating. I was making, this is 1 1/2 inches in on the right side. I was so tired of making laminated envelopes, because for the longest time I felt like I was making them nonstop for my Etsy, and it was great. And I find crafting and things like that to be really relaxing, but after a while I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just too much. So I started making some paper ones for a couple of my friends / coworkers, and they really seem to like them. So what you're going to do now is you're going to trim in this piece here. Actually, both pieces, one on each side of your bottom flap and one on each side of the top one. Pretty easy. So you're going to trim off this one too. And again, if it's easier for you to follow the diagram that I made, rewind and take a screenshot of that, because that just gives you all the measurements, and I think it makes it pretty easy to follow along. So I don't know, do you guys make your own envelopes? Do you buy them? I'm going to be selling them again. I'm going to be selling the laminated ones, but I was also thinking about if I could make some cute ones, you know, with some really nice scrapbook paper, selling some of the paper ones as well, because like I said, I love the paper ones, and I think I might change to that after a while. So here, you want to take about 1/4 of an inch in. Now you don't have to measure this, and when I make mine, I don't. But if you want to measure, you can. So you just want to make a dot there. And over here, same thing, about 1/4 of an inch, make a dot. And what you're going to do is you're going to use that as a guide for your scissors. So you're going to take your scissors and you're going to put the back of it right here. And then you're going to kind of pivot the scissors and you're going to make the end cut the bottom of the flap. Now that's in just a hair, but again, that kind of thing doesn't bother me. And if it is something that bothers you, you can be much more precise. So yours just look like perfection. I wish mine looked like perfection, but they don't, and that's okay. All right, so there is your flap. So you want it to be kind of tapered in a bit on each end. So on this one, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and it may not be exact, but again, that's okay. All right, so there you go. So here is where some people end up using a scoring tool. If you want, you can score here and here, and of course you can score here. But when you fold this, I have so much ink on me from this. When you fold this, the end of your fold, you're not going to be able to really fold too much past where the flaps are. The only thing that I suggest doing, just so it's nice and straight, is make sure that this lines up with this line. So make sure your flap or this side lines up with the line that you've drawn. So try to make that as straight as possible, and then go ahead and crease. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to open that back up. Make sure that this edge lines up with this line, and then you'll know that your fold is pretty straight. This is going to save you from having to use any type of scoring tool. Now, if you feel like you need it, you can use a bone folder to make sure that this is all, you know, folded down precisely. But you don't have to do that either, but that's totally up to you. So what I do next is I take my tape, and again, if you don't have this, go ahead and feel free to use some plain old Scotch tape. It will do the trick. This is kind of running out because when I try to start it, it doesn't want to let go of the adhesive. But you're gonna run this down. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna run an entire line of adhesive down this side. I'm gonna do it a couple times because it looks like it's pulling up. Then I'm going to fold this part down. I've got the adhesive right here, and it's going to overlap just a bit. And I'm going to smooth that down, press it, and it's perfect. No, it's not perfect, but it's glued down. So now what I want to do is I want to take the bottom flap, and I'm just going to fold it upright. So again, nothing to it. And you don't have to be precise because, like I said, you can't even really tell. Once you have this glued down, I don't know, you're not going to even notice if it's not perfect. And I do the same thing, and I do it on the edge of the flap. This thing is so frustrating. And maybe it's drying out because I haven't been crafting. So there we go. All right, so you have your, oh, the glue is on my fingers. So you have your flap all done, and your adhesive is keeping it locked down. Now all you want to do here is simply fold this down so you can kind of give it that scored effect. And now your cash envelope is ready to go. It's ready for some money. So just to show you all the measurements that we used, I don't know where, okay, here we go. All the measurements that we used are perfect for cash. and look at all the space you have. So that means you can pretty much stuff this, and the more you stuff it, the less width you're gonna get. So if you notice that, like right now I have all this width at the top, I have all this extra, but let's act like we're stuffing it, and you see how it pulls in. So if you have a lot of cash in here, the more narrow your envelope's gonna get. So that's why I like having the extra space up here. But as you can see, that fits in there perfectly. And now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to doodle and decorate. And I just want to take that little corner off there. I'm ready to doodle, I'm ready to decorate, I'm ready to stuff this week after week, and it couldn't be easier. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I think I'm going to be switching to this style of envelope in my upcoming videos, hopefully. I do recommend using some kind of weighted cardstock. It doesn't have to be the heaviest, but I would use something with a little bit of structure to it, just so it can hold its form and just so it can hold up, you know, wear and tear when you're using these all the time. Because for me, my variable expense envelopes that I use each week, I take those with me when I go shopping and when I go spending. So I want something that's going to definitely hold up. So this is just cardstock that I got at Michael's. Watch for when it goes on sale. This is another paper pack. I think this was from Joann's. It was all florals, but I never buy anything unless it's on sale and I have a coupon. So that is my strategy when I go to any of the craft stores. If I just wanted to use these and switch them up all the time, I would use regular scrapbook paper and not worry about the weightedness of it. So whatever works for you, I say that's what you should do. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped you. Let me know if you try this process out, if this is something that you already do. But I will be making an announcement on my channel when my Etsy is back open, because the reason why I'm hesitating is because I do have a blog, and I was thinking about putting some of my products there instead of my Etsy. I just think it would be cheaper for me as a lister and as a seller, but I would have to work out all the kinks for that. So anyway, that is all my updates, and those are my paper envelopes. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.